Hello and welcome to the Daily Millwall for Thursday the 27th of April 2023. In today's Millwall news, it's the day before a game. Remember, our game is on Friday. We got a game tomorrow, Friday 8 o'clock. You know that, where you been? We're going to start off with this from southernnews.co.uk. Gary Rowett. Millwall players have to embrace the pressure in the final two fixtures. The Lions have picked up just 5 points from a possible 21 since March 18th. Oof. Millwall players need to embrace the pressure of the championship running down to secure a top six finish this season, says manager Gary Rowett. On paper, his side had one of the easiest runnings in the entire division and looked set to secure their highest league finish since 2002. However, they have lost all 4 games against teams below them in the table, with Huddersfield Town, Hull City, Birmingham City and Wigan Athletic all taking 3 points off the Lions. Injuries have undoubtedly damaged Millwall's momentum, with 4 key first-team players ruled out until the end of the season, but Rowett admits that the pressure has clearly impacted his players in the last 7 games based on their performances. I never like to make excuses, but I definitely think the injuries have played a part, he told Music. To lose key players at this stage of the season, for others to come in on the back of hardly playing any football, you're going to lose a little bit of continuity, of course. That's something that you always need. You always need a bit of fortune with injuries. However, I thought the game against Wigan looked like one where we looked nervous. I understand it. I watched the Arsenal game against Southampton the night before, and you've got a team that look like they're going to win the league or a 3-1 down against the bottom team. It can happen. Pressure can affect people in different ways. You only have to be able to handle it if you want to achieve anything in football. Whether that's winning the Premier League or finishing in the top 6 in the Championship, it's still something you have to manage. The running is down to a little bit of everything, but there are certainly no excuses. We're in a fantastic position, and we're still in it if we go and beat Blackpool, which will be a tough test again because they're down there like Wigan were. If we do that, if we give ourselves a fighting chance, that's what we've got to do. That will come down to attitude, handling the game, whatever it is. Indeed, it is a very high pressure fixture for players and fans as well. Now moving on to this, also from the Sun. Okay, midfielder confident that Mill can bounce back for a run. Billy Mitchell believes that the Lions still have a chance of securing a top 6 finish despite winning just 1 of their last 7 games. Indeed. Billy Mitchell is adamant that Millwall will not give up the top 6 finish despite their recent dip in form. The Lions dropped out of the playoff places after Saturday's 2-1 defeat, meaning that their fate is no longer in their hands with just 2 games to go. They will now need to rely on results elsewhere to go in their favour if they are to stand a chance of winning promotion, although they have been fortunate to remain in the race up until this point as their immediate rivals have also struggled to overtake them. However, Mitchell still believes that Mill will have a chance of achieving their goal this season, explaining that they will do what they can to overcome the odds, beat both Blackpool and Blackburn Rovers. 100%, we won't give up, he told us then. You look at our 2 fixtures, we have an away game against a team that's right down there. Yes, they will be fighting for it, but we still shouldn't be worrying about that. Whether they are fighting for survival or not, league position doesn't lie. We should be a better team than them. I think we should have full confidence going to that Blackpool game that we turn up and play the way that we have been playing for the majority of the season, we can beat them. Then we fancy playing against anyone at home, particularly the teams that are more towards the top of the table. We seemingly perform better against them than the teams lower down. They are 2 very winnable games, and I think we have to get 6 points, and we just need to keep our fingers crossed from that position. We're by no means down and out yet. We've still got to look after that bit that weakened part. With that, it is important that Millwall's players keep their heads up between now and the end of the season. Confidence is clearly low in the squad, and lower ranked opponents such as Hull City and Birmingham City have been able to take advantage of them in the same way as Wigan. Mitchell agrees that a positive mentality could make the difference in the playoff race, which the sides at the top of the division have shown all season. Oh, that's the mark of the good teams, he admitted. We've seen one level, regardless of where we finished this season. We've been in and around the playoffs for the last couple of years. That next level is Burnley and Sheffield United, where you're looking at automatic promotion, or even Middlesbrough and Luton being firmly in the playoff spots, then going to the lower teams and taking the points you deserve. It's also about finding the energy and ability to get yourself up for games against the likes of Wigan and Blackpool to be able to take the points at this stage of the season. It's still very much there for us, but we'll see. We will see. It's good. You do need to have a positive attitude. You need to be realistic. What's not positive. You just need to get on with it. You need to roll your sleeves up and get on with it. Forthrightness, whatever it's called, fortitude. Now, there is the first team game tomorrow. There is also an under-21 game. Also, in the north west in Lancashire, or Greater Manchester technically, but there or thereabouts. I wonder if they'll go to the first team game in the night time. Probably not. So Millwall under-21s travel to, what is on TV? Travel back home and watch on TV. Millwall under-21s travel to Wigan Athletic in the Professional Development League on Friday afternoon, kick-off at midday. Kevin Nugent's side enjoyed a perfect afternoon then on Tuesday, defeating Crewe Alexandra 5-0. We'll be hoping for another 3 points to take a step closer to confirming top spot in the Southern Division. The under-21s have shown a ruthless edge in front of goal, 22-23, scoring 64 times, the most in both the Northern and Southern leagues, whilst only losing 3 games. The last time the Lions tasted defeat was in February, 8 games ago, and Kevin Nugent's side will be wanting to head into the playoffs in perfect form, continuing Friday afternoon. Nugent's side have been able to find a net through a consistent attack. Abdul Malik came off the bench against Crewe to score his 17th of the season, 2 behind the league's top scorer. Who's that then? While Seb Dross netted his 11th in rushing, and Nana Boateng's also been in fine form for the Young Lions. He also notched in the previous game. Wigan, on the other hand, also sit in the playoff positions, this time in the Northern Division, and are currently on course to play the Lions in the end of season shake-up. Yeah, they are firmly in second place in the Northern Division. Sheffield United have got the top spot sewn up. So if we finish top of our league, we'll play Wigan. If we finish second, we'll play Sheffield United. Whilst Millwall cemented their playoff place in the playoffs, taking their foot off the gas will not be in minds. A win coupled with positive results from Nugent's side elsewhere could see top spot in the southern section wrapped up. Not only that, but as mentioned there, Abdul Malik, he's got 17 goals this season. He's 2 behind the league top scorer. He's got this game to catch up, and Sheffield Wednesday at home in a week's time. So he's got 2 games to catch up those 2 goals. So let's get on it. Updates from Christopher Park will be available at Millwall Academy on Twitter, whilst a report from Greater Manchester will be available on millwallfc.co.uk following the final whistle. Millwall squad for this fixture is yet to be confirmed. Indeed. Pretty sure that we're not going to see Bury or SA play, because obviously we've got a first team game the same day, so doubt that that's going to be happening again. So yeah, just letting you know about that before we get into the main event of the night, 8 PM on Sky Sports. Here we go. This is the historical record of Blackpool versus Millwall games from 11v11.com. This is the head-to-head. Blackpool back in the day were a massive team, and then the maximum wage came in, fell off hard. You can see we barely played them at all. Only 17 games times 3, so that's not a lot. First game was in 1928, and then there was a few more games until 1934, and then a massive 33-year gap. Because they were spending most of their time in the top two divisions, we were spending most of our time in the bottom 2 divisions, so always missing each other. Then that maximum wage kicks in the 1960s, and they're dropping down the leagues. Obviously, they've actually came back and got into the Premiership for a couple of seasons. And then had a bit of a nightmare ever since. But a bit of a yo-yo club now between League One and the Championship. So let's start at the beginning. First 2 trips up there, obviously big club back in the day. We lost 3-0 and lost 4-3. After that, we didn't get our first win there since 1967, a massive 4-1 win, and that was, oh dear, I'm going down, and we played many games where we did not, and then oh Jesus, no, we didn't win again up there until 1999. It's about 12 games, 12 trips to Blackpool over 30 odd years without winning. We didn't win up there until 1999, 2-1 win. Then we win again the next game 1-0. That's that one there in League One. So this is a game that we lose pretty often. In this league, in the Championship, we lost 1-0 there, we lost 2-1 there, we lost 1-0 there, we lost 1-0 there, we drew 1-1, but that was in League One. That's not in the Championship. Last time out, we lost 1-0. Holy shit. So the last 3 trips to Blackpool in this league, we lost them 1-0. So we failed to score in our last 3 trips in this league. There was the 1-1 draw in League One, but in this league, we failed to score in our last 3 games. So we haven't won away at Blackpool since 2007, which you might think that's not that long ago, if you're old like me, but that is a long time now. That's, what is that, just under 20 years, 17 years or so. Quick math. Yeah, 16 years. That's a long time. That is a long time. So 16 years and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 trips. Oh dear, this is so all in all, we've only won at Blackpool once. Twice, 3 times, 4 times. We've only won at Blackpool 4 times in our history. You can see how many times we've been up there. All of these times that are highlighted in yellow. 4 wins. 4 wins. And the biggest one was a 4-1 win. And the rest of them are just normal wins. What we got? Got a 1-0. We got a 2-1. Dear, oh dear, oh dear. It's not looking good. It's not looking good. Oh dear. So let's get on to this from whoscored.com. Match facts on the right hand side. Blackpool won 5 of their last 6 home matches in all competitions. Blackpool have seen under 2.5 goals in 6 of their last 7 home matches against Millwall in all competitions. There have been under 2.5 goals scored in Blackpool's last 3 games. Okay. Wow. Okay. A lot of red cards there, but that's in both games. Here we go. So, the last 6 games, 5 defeats and 1 draw. And in that draw, we had a player sent off. We only scored 2 goals in 6 trips to Blackpool. Holy shit. This isn't looking good, is it? This isn't looking good. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. This is not looking good at all. Let's go back and look at this. Have we got any trips to Blackpool in April, the end of April? Because if we haven't been up there in the end of April, maybe that's something we can hope on. We can cling to. We have not been to Blackpool in April because obviously it's generally sunny then. They don't want us going, oh, hang on, here's one. 19th of April 1969, we lost 1-0. Obviously, they generally send us to Blackpool in the winter. In really shitty weather. They don't really want us going up there in numbers. But yeah, it's not looking good. It's not looking good. Don't know why this is doing. I don't want to watch that shit. But here's the table for what it's worth. As you can see, they've won more games in the last 6 than we have. They won 2, but they've lost the rest. So let's have a quick look and see who did they beat. They beat Wigan 1-0. It's just Wigan. Well, we couldn't beat Wigan. And they beat Burnley. Okay, and both games were 1-0. It seems like they're trying to keep it tight. So maybe they'll do a lot of defending, and we might have to break them down. And they'll try and get us on the counter. Or they'll play properly until they score and then just defend crazy. So here's the table for what it's worth. Like I said, this is over the season. In terms of home, they're 21. So their home form is better than their overall form. They've won 6, they've drawn 6, they've lost 10. Scored 26, conceded 31. Our away form, we've dropped way down. 12. Won 7, drawn 5, lost 10. Only scored 20 goals away. That's not a lot. That's less than 1 per game. No, we are not scoring away from home. Oh dear, it's not looking good. And like I said, form. If we look at the form, you can see they're above us. They've got 2 wins. We've got 1 win and 2 draws. We've only scored 3 goals in the last 6 games, and they've scored 5. Although they have conceded 11, so it seems that when they do lose, they lose bigly. We just go through these losses. So they lost 3-1 to Preston, they lost 3-1 to Cardiff. They lost. Oh, they like losing 3-1. They lost 3-1 to Luton. Oh, 2-0. So they lost 2-0. Managed to keep it. They didn't score against West Brom. Okay. So they do like the 3-1s there. If we rearrange this, home games for them and away games for us. Obviously failed to score. We failed to score at Hull. We failed to score at West Brom. But we did keep clean sheets against Stoke, Reading, and West Brom. We conceded 2 against Wigan and 2 against Luton. In terms of Blackpool, they've only kept a clean sheet against Burnley back in March and Wigan most recently. They've only failed to score in 2 games. It's the last home game they had against West Brom, and way back against Burnley, which was a 0-0 draw, and that was a big game for this local derby. Very important. The other fixture, the Burnley Blackpool game earlier in the season, was a 3-3 draw. Blackpool scoring right at the end. Very important game for them. The players were well up for that. They scored 6 against QPR, but it's QPR, so. But they did concede 4 against Coventry and 3 against Cardiff. So, bit of a mixed bag. Generally. And Millwall, you can see Millwall only scored 2 against Luton in the last 6 games. So, away goals are few and far between. Despite that, here's our strengths and weaknesses. They have a lot of weaknesses. Defending against attacks down the wings. Shame that we go through the middle a lot then, isn't it? Maybe time for Zion to move out to the left. Mill will score from the set piece situation, extremely likely. Mill will score from the direct free kick, very likely. Okay, let's get into the prediction. Apparently, they have a lot of injured players, just like us. You can see a lot. But this website isn't very good on the injured players. Can get past that crap. Here we go. Here's the prediction. Prediction. This Friday night clash is a matter of do or die for Blackpool, kept their survival hopes alive for 1-0 away win against Birmingham. Stephen Dobby, their manager, has revitalised the Tangerines, who have won 2 of their last 3 league games. Millwall's form was tailed off at the worst possible time, with the London club dropping out of the playoffs places following a dismal 2-1 away defeat against basement boys Wigan last weekend. The Lions have lost 3 of their last 4 league outings ahead of this Friday night fixture, and they predict Blackpool 1, Millwall 1. Unlikely, I think. But Blackpool need to win this game. So that means that they have to attack. So if we try and defend, get them on the counter, that might be an idea. Because they're not going to. If it's 1-1, they're just going to be all guns blazing. So if we try and do what we did against Luton, which was that our last game on TV, where we're 2-0 up and it's just let's defend the game. No, they need to win this game, or they're going to get relegated this night. They're going to be crying on TV. It's going to be the whole shebang. We're going to relegate them. So if we go 2 goals up, 3 goals up, whatever, it's not over. It's not over. They're going to go for it. They need to win. Or do we do rope a dope and just sit back and try and catch them on the break? I don't know. So let's get into the prediction from David Prone of Sky Sports. This is from skysports.com. Let's go scrolling down, and of course it's number 1 because it's the first game on Sky Television this weekend. Blackpool versus Millwall, Friday 8 PM live on Sky Sports Football. What a game to kick off the weekend! Only a win will really do for Blackpool if they want to keep the survival hunt. The home fans will be roaring them forward on Friday night. Millwall have let their playoff hopes slip away. It seemed in their grasp a few weeks ago, but a poor run has seen them slip out of the top 6. This is a chance to set things right, but I think it will be a draw. And David Prutton predicts it will be Blackpool 1, Millwall 1. Again, this is not a game it's going to be a draw. The only way it's going to be a draw is if one team goes one up and then just sits back, and lets the other team bang at them. Because both of these teams need to win. We need to win, they need to win. So the only way it's going to be a draw is if it's 1-0 on the 85th minute and then boom, the other team scores. I have no expectations. I don't expect that we will win. I don't expect we'll lose. I don't expect we'll draw. It could be anything. I don't know. One thing I know is watching the Wigan game back. Scott Malone is not a left back. A lot of people digging him out saying shit, but he's not capable of playing in the system that we're playing, in the position that we're playing in. So here's the situation. Do you change your formation to accommodate the players that you have available to yourselves and play him at left wing back, and we go back to 5-3-2, 5-4-1, whatever you're saying? Or do you put George Saville there? George Saville's left-footed. He can certainly play left back. Callum Styles can play there as well, but I think George Saville with his defensive work is probably be a lot better there. He's obviously a lot more responsible. He's a very intelligent man, and he's very responsible. He can take the weight of that on his shoulders and do what he needs to do to get through this game. Now here's the thing: if you do that, you keep the formation but drop Malone out of it. Obviously, you're upsetting him. But then, what does Gary Rowett do? Does he upset Scott Malone, or does he upset everyone else by putting a square peg in a round hole? We lose the game. The rest of the players are upset because they're not getting the playoffs. The fans, the management, everyone else is upset because the target at the start of the season, which was within grasp, is now falling away because you're playing square pegs in round holes. Now, George Saville, not really a left back, but he can play there. He's played there before. And I think he'll be a lot better at left back, full back than Scott Malone. Both of Wigan's goals came down that side. Obviously, not Scott Malone's fault. He's bombing forward because he thinks he's a wing back still. Or do you change formation? Again, I don't know. It's something you need to do something. If you do move George Saville to left back, we now have in the middle. We got the same Rhineland might be back, but even then we got Styles, we got Shackleton, we got others who can play there. So it's not the end of the world. You do move George Saville to left back. Again, does Gary have the stones to do it? Does he have the stones to upset Scott Malone and drop him to the bench and say, look, I can't play you at left back. You're not very good at defending, and we need to win this game. We'll see. But in terms of predictions, it's all up in the air. I could give you a prediction now. I'm very sour on what's happening now, and I think we're going to lose this game. If you held a gun to my head and said I had to predict a scoreline, I think it's a negative one. I think we're going to lose this game. I think it's going to be. Like I said, it's going to be a very open game. Both teams need to win this game. It could be 3-2, 2-1. So yeah, probably going to go 3-2. I think we're going to lose 3-2. I don't want to. I hope we don't. Because if we do, our season's done and dusted. And the Blackburn game is absolute fuck all, and it's a sellout. And I'm going to see online people basically trying to give their tickets away. They're not going to want to go. They bought the tickets thinking that it was going to be a massive game with a lot on it, and it's going to all disappear to dust. So we'll see. We will see. We'll see what formation Gary Rowett picks. We'll see what team Gary Rowett picks. We'll see what decisions he makes, because obviously there's something not right. We've got players missing, dropping out, and can't be playing square pegs in round holes and keep trying to get lucky with it. You need to either accommodate the formation to the players that you've got, or think of something else. And on that note, thank you for watching, and goodbye.